Do you know why you did those things?
You know, I haven't really done a lot of soul searching, brother. I'm working on myself as far as like, you know, I know that I had a rough childhood. I know that, you know, I was confused and filled with a lot of anger and confusion. Not having my mother, my father around. What's up, baby? My wife just came home from work. You know, not having my mother and my father around, being raised in an abusive environment. You know, I hit the streets at a young age looking for something that I didn't have at home. And, you know, whenever you hit the streets at a young age, nothing good comes about it. And we all know that. And, you know, of course, I got wrapped up with the wrong people and started getting involved in gangs and drugs and was in and out of the juvenile system and ended up going to prison. You know, but yeah, I
You
just, you
said
know,
you said you didn't have your mother and your father.
mhm.
Who raised you? Your grandmother, right?
Yeah, my grandmother, and from the age of two, my grandmother raised me, and I was raised with her and her boyfriend, who was an alcoholic, very abusive, physically, mentally, to both of us. And then 7 years later, my younger brother came to live with us also. So me and my younger brother, I have three younger brothers, but two of us were raised by my grandmother. My youngest brother, my mom decided to try and give it a shot finally, and didn't do so great. Let's just say that. But
What was that like for you?
oh shit, man. So when I was young, like before I went to live with my grandmother, I vividly remember like my mom being thrown around the living room and stuff by her ex-boyfriend, who's deceased now. But like I remember, like even at that young age, like I remember like vividly seeing my mom thrown across the living room like a fucking rag doll, brother. And just so many things that happened in that short period of time, all the moving around. I mean, we must have moved maybe 20 times in 2 years from the time I was born until I was two. Um, so when I went to live with my grandmother, I was obviously affected already by what was happening. So I was having these night terrors. I wouldn't let my grandmother even go to the bathroom alone, bro. At 2 years old, like I would follow her into the bathroom because I was like tripping, like I was scared, like she was gonna leave me or something. And then as I started getting older, I started like you know, not older, but like 5, 6, you know, I started, you know, along with the abuse that was happening at home and seeing the abuse on my grandmother now, who I absolutely adore and love. You know, I started to blame myself. I thought there was something wrong with me, and that's why my mother and father weren't there. So like they tried to send me to like therapy and stuff when I was young, like art therapy and stuff, and it just, you know, I never got into that. I was a very quiet, very frustrated, angry, confused child. So I mean, that stuff didn't do much for me, you know. But yeah, my grandmother raised me since the age of two, bro, and I lost her in 2018 from a massive heart attack.
And you watched your grandmother get beaten by this guy.
Yeah, I remember vividly at 5, he had her by the throat up against the wall, and I came up from behind and I kicked him in the nuts, and he back kicked me, and I remember sliding across the linoleum floor, and it gave my grandmother just enough time to breathe to tell me to run to the neighbors and call 911. So I ran across to the neighbors and they called 911 and the cops came and they arrested him. And it was after that that he kind of started to slow down a little bit, but he still was just
Slowed down.
slowed down, not stop. But you know what I mean? It's like I remember one time he beat the shit out of me, bro, for putting meat that I didn't eat back in the pot. Like I didn't eat it, so I put it back in the pot. And he was drunk. And I mean, he beat the living shit out of me. I remember one time he came home drunk at night and he bought me one of those nice Haro Group 1Bs for Christmas, right? And Christmas had just passed. It was probably like January. And I guess I left it in the hallway and he tripped on it when he came home at like 2 in the morning drunk. And he literally came in the room and threw that bike on me when I was sleeping, busted me in the face. And, you know, it was just like, thanks for the Christmas present, bro. You can have that back. But you know what I mean? So that's just the stuff that I witnessed growing up with my grandmother and him, and the stuff I endured and went through. And I mean, there's a lot worse than that, bro. But you know, I just wanted to get away from it all. And that's why I ran away at 13. And I mean, it was over at that point. The first time I ran away from home, I told my grandmother, I'm going to run away. And she goes, you can't run away. And she called Sylmar Juvenile Hall, and she got a probation officer on the phone. And she said, can you tell my grandson what will happen if he runs away? And she thought, this guy was going to tell me like, hey, don't do it. You can't do that. So he gets on the phone and he tells me, you can do whatever you want. You're going to have to deal with the consequences of your own actions, though. I handed the phone. He said, I can do whatever I want. And I left. And that was the first time I tried methamphetamine. Needless to say, a week later, I called grandma and went back home for a minute.
I want to go back to, like, I'm sorry, I'm having a very difficult time listening to this story because it's I'm actually putting myself in your shoes, and I'm trying to figure out how the hell would I have been able to deal with that. I mean, my mother and father, they argued, but my father made it look like they were joking. Well, the way he made it look like they were just playing, right? He'd be like, I got her all pissed off. She mad as hell. You see? But my mother would be throwing stuff all over the house. She'd be wrecking. She was so pissed off. But my father made it look like it was just whatever. So I don't know what it's like to actually be in that kind of environment on a daily basis, no less. What I can't even fathom what went through your brain when you was running to get help, because me personally, I would be too scared to leave. Like, I would be too afraid to leave. I don't even know if I would have had it in me to kick him in the balls. You're 5 years old, kicking this grown ass man in the balls to protect your grandmother. So you had balls when you was a little boy.
They said they used to call me Bam Bam because I would be in my walker and I would carry the vacuum around behind me all the time.
Bam Bam?
Bam Bam. And then that was my nickname when I was a kid, I guess. I never went by that as I got older, but I guess that's what they used to call me. And my mom told me when I was like 1.5, I had a real hammer and nails, and I guess I would hammer them into the floor of her apartment. And the lady, and I guess she had a cockroach problem too. So like when I was hammering the nails in the floor, I was like saying, die cockroach, like trying to kill cockroaches too, I guess. I don't know. But the lady downstairs, I guess, would hit the ceiling with the broom so often that all the stucco on her ceiling was off. I'd be hammering into the floor as a kid. So I guess I was a little like, I'm not going to say hellion, but
I remember the broom to the ceiling bit. I remember that. Oh my God.
The neighbors upstairs won't shut up.
No, the neighbors downstairs was just getting irritated because my sister and me, we were rough. We did a whole lot we did stuff like, and me. All right, so we ought to give you a little. Wow. Should I really tell this? Okay, so when I was a kid,
tell it.
I don't know. I had the most vivid imagination for a kid. Absolutely most vivid imagination. I'm one of those kids that I could be in my room for hours, right? And I can pretend with whatever. I remember when I was a wrestler, right? And my favorite wrestler of all time when I was a child was Hulk Hogan, the immortal Hulk Hogan. I wanted to be him so bad. Yo, Fetters, I wanted to be Hulk so bad. And with the pythons and the vitamins and the demandments, oh my God, it was so like he gave me, I wanted to be a WWF wrestler. I'm not going to say WWE. I don't believe in that. WWE DMF, that's the one I'll know. I'm sick of this WWE bull.
Kid.
World Wrestling Federation. That's the one I remember. That's the one I love.
It was real back then too.
It was never real, but that's not the point. I thought it was real. When I was a kid, I thought it was real. But anyway, I used to have this, you know, the WWF wrestling doll, the Hulk Hogan wrestling dog. I had that. I held on to that thing for almost 7, 8 years.
I don't think I
Right?
ever saw that one.
Oh my God, I gotta pull it up now.
I don't think I ever saw that. Sam, I have to agree. I love UFC now that I'm older. Gotta love UFC.
You know what? I'm not even a big UFC fan.
No.
For some odd reason, I'm not.
Yeah, I'm into it. I like UFC. There's a lot of fighters out here in Florida, man. Down in Miami
What?
and stuff.
What
A
do you
lot of
mean?
fighters out here in Florida. UFC fighters. They got a
Fighters. Oh, I thought you
yeah.
said a lot of fires in Florida. That scared the hell out of me. I was like,
No,
tell
that's
me what's
California.
going on. Right. All right. So yeah, so that is the WWF wrestling doll right there.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking. I never had one, but I know what you're talking about now. That's right. I remember that. I never had one, but I know what
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
talking
I
about.
will
That's
pay
fun.
$100 for that. I swear for God, I will pay $100 for that. I
That's
really
fun.
would. I really,
And
really would. I loved
got the
this
belt
doll.
on.
Do you hear me? Huh?
And he's got the belt on and everything.
Yes, that's the original belt. I remember when they gave him that belt.
That's crazy.
But back to what I was saying, I was one of those kids that I could play by myself. I didn't need anybody, do whatever I wanted. And my mother would come in the room to make sure I was by myself because I was just switching my voice around. Like, you're gonna brother and all this other stuff. And my mother comes in, look at through the phone. Oh, okay, just make sure. But I would play for hours, right? So you can imagine the type of childhood I had and now I'm trying to look at and what the hell? Like how? I don't know what I would have done. I don't know what I would have done. This is why I'm having such a hard time to like I'm trying to connect the dots, but it's almost like it's blocking because I don't want to feel that, if that makes any sense.
Of course.
I mean, I don't even know I don't even know where to go with that. Like
you know, it's like people always ask me, how did you do 13 years in prison? You know, and I don't know. My life has always been about adapting and just to my surroundings and just getting through it, man. I don't know. It's crazy, dude. Like I look back at all that stuff, man, and it's just all the stuff I did, just everything. It's crazy, man. But you know, just my grandmother, man, like just thinking of everything she went through, you know, and everything that she went through, raising her 5 kids of her own, and then me and my little brother, and then everything we fucking put her through, man. And then 13 years of me in prison, you know, it's like she was there every step of the way. So, but after I came home in 2010, I talked to her every morning, bro, on the way to work. I talked to her in the truck on the way to work every morning, bro. And never missed a morning. And the morning she had the heart attack was it was the 12th. And she called me that morning. I had a job interview the day before. And she's like, hey, honey, you know, how did the job interview go? And I'm like, good. She goes, are you sleeping? I go, no, I got to get up. I got to get up. And she goes, well, I got to go anyways. I'm like, no, I'm up. I'm up. And I thought she was just trying to get off the phone. And she goes, well, I got therapy right now. I'm going to get in the shower and go to my physical therapy. And I'm like, all right, well, call me when you get back. And 20 minutes later, my little brother called me screaming, crying that he found her in her room. So I jumped in the car going 90 with my wife and my mom in the car, bro. And she was already gone by the time I got there, dude.
I remember when I lost my father. I was fortunate. I got to say goodbye to my dad. Not too many people get a chance to do that. He said he loved me, and he wasn't one of those kids. He wasn't one of those guys to say he loved you, right? He didn't do that. He wasn't that type of guy. But he said, "I love you" to me, and I said, "I love you, Daddy." And he was like, I was honored. I was honored, and to this day, I remember him walking around that door, and my mother was coming right behind him, and she grabs the doorknob and she's closing the door, and that was the last time I saw my father alive, man.
How old were you, brother?
I was 16. I lost my
Sorry.
dad when I was 16, so he was what, 36 years old, man, and you go. So I know what
Sorry.
it's like to lose a. I know what it's like to lose a parent. I know what it's like, and I'm having a tough time, and I don't know why. It's funny that this wow, this is about to come up. Seriously, right now, I'm supposed to be getting into your life. Wow.
Hey, brother, that's what we're here for.
That's why I'm so afraid to get close to my mother.
Hmm.
I'm scared to lose her.
Yeah, it makes sense, bro. This last 2 years, I've been afraid to get close to anybody, even my wife, bro. Like, I've been pushing people away left and right, brother.
Why? What's
I
your
just don't
reasoning?
even want to let anybody in anymore, bro. Like, once I lost my grandmother, I felt like I lost everything, bro.
You still haven't gotten over it, have you?
No, not even close. But that's even more of a reason, bro, for you to cling on to your mom, brother. Damn you, Gary. Ugh.
I make a deal with you.
They're saying YouTube just got blasted by something, bro.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I witnessed it, but I'm on
It's on my
Twitch.
phone right now, so
Fellas, everybody, if y'all guys are having a hard time with this, please, I'm streaming on Twitch right now as we speak.
I don't know. It's still live on my phone, bro, so I don't know.
Yeah, I tried to get into YouTube and I was struggling as well. I think it's people getting on right now that's having a difficulty, but people that are on, they can get through. But if you can, let people know that I am on Twitch as well. So you can go to Twitch. Someone please spam my link so everyone can jump over there. I don't know if that's going to work or not, but right now I'll figure it out. But I want to make sure I want to stay here. I want to focus on you, man, because we're getting somewhere. I'll make a deal with you. I'll open to I'll I'll open up to my mother if you'll open up. I'll do that with you.
Let's do it, bro.
Anybody, anyone can hold us accountable because this I'm going to be real. This is going to be hard for me. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm really scared.
You know, brother, Leslie lost her dad at 9, at 37. Pretty rough relationship with her mom on and off just because of the loss of her father. Probably a lot to do with the same feelings you're having right now, not wanting to get close out of fear. You know, bro, just like I gotta start dealing with what I got inside of me. You know, you gotta love on her and cherish her and just and cherish the time you do have, bro, because we already know how it is to lose them. It's not a good feeling, bro. So if I could have said something, just a few more things that morning, bro, on the phone. I'd give anything to get that time back. Just that morning on the phone with her brother. And I know she's here. I know it. I know she is, man. I feel her all the time, bro. Like there's things that happen that only could be from her. I mean, look, I got this sitting right here. The world's best mom. This is something that we got for her a long time ago, bro. Like I got stuff everywhere of her, and I know she's here. Her picture will fall over 3 times in a row in an hour time span. You know what I mean? Like when I'm talking about her, like that shit just don't happen, bro. So, and it was her picture that cut my finger the other night when I was acting like a jackass. It was her.
Wait. Well, here's the thing that kills me. Why is it that way? Why does that friggin' happen? When you're doing something stupid, all of a sudden you got to cut your finger and make a fool of yourself in front of everybody.
Bro, I was holding a picture frame in my hand and I was being a dumbass and it literally cracked the glass and it split my finger open. I'm glad I didn't cut a nerve. But I mean, it's just like, it was like her saying, "Hey, dummy, what are you doing? Like, what's wrong with you?"